commitment to infrastructural development, human capacity building.
22 military personnel killed in Pakistani army helicopter crash.
And now the details. The House of Representatives today unanimously passed the State Police Bill for third reading, signaling a critical step towards the establishment of state policing in the country. 289 members of the House voted in favor of the passage of the bill. One member voted against, while one abstained, even as one member from Kaduna State, Bashir Usman, attempted to halt the consideration of the bill, insisting that the issues of insecurity in the country should first be addressed before the House considered the bill. The bill will now be sent to the State Houses of Assembly for concurrence after similar passage by the Senate. Giving a synopsis of the bill, Deputy Speaker of the House and Chairman of the House Committee on Constitution Review, Benjamin Kalu, said there was a national consensus on the need to have state police. He said the creation of state police will reduce the response time to issue of insecurity while getting the people who understand the terrain in the various states involved in policing their communities, and appeal to the members to give maximum support to the creation of the state police. He said it is part of legislative action in supporting what the security agencies are doing in addressing issues of insecurity across the country.
Operatives of the Department of State Services and troops of the Nigerian Army have foiled a major attempt by members of the outlawed Eastern Security Network to kidnap scores of students writing the ongoing West African Senior School Certificate examination in some southeast states. The targeted schools for the abductions were located in Enugu, Anambra, and Imo State. According to a statement released today by the DSS, operatives of the secret police and soldiers acted on credible intelligence and raided an ESN armory in the Agbani axis of Enugu State. The statement added that intelligence revealed that ESN members planned to launch the attacks while wearing the National Youth Service Corps uniforms. The raid led to the recovery of a cache of high-caliber arms, including 8 AK-47 rifles, 12 AK-47 magazines, and 323 rounds of 7.62mm special ammunition, 1 smoke grenade launcher, 2 tear gas canisters, 10 NYSC trousers, 8 NYSC t-shirts, and 4 NYSC lanyards. Several members of the organization were also reportedly arrested.
In the meantime, the Nigerian Air Force (NAF) has killed scores of terrorists in precision strikes in the Lake Chad region, which also destroyed their enclave. In a statement on Thursday, NAF's Director of Public Relations and Information, Ihime Ejodame, said the airstrikes were carried out by NAF under the air component of Operation Hadinkai. Ejodame described the airstrikes as another major operational success. He said the airstrikes destroyed and neutralized scores of terrorists at Metele in the northern Tombons area of the Lake Chad Basin. Meanwhile, the Chief of the Air Staff, Sunday Anike, has commended the personnel involved and reaffirmed the NAF's commitment to sustaining relentless pressure on terrorist elements.
The first set of Nigerians evacuated from South Africa back home following renewed xenophobic attacks in the country. They arrived at the Muritala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos today at around 10:25 a.m. Nigeria's Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Shola Oluyole, among others, was on hand to welcome the 258 evacuees who were escorted by officials of the Nigerian mission in South Africa, led by the Acting High Commissioner Temitope Ajayi. Addressing the returnees who were flown by Air Peace, Oluyole said Nigeria will not stand idle by while its citizens are subjected to attacks and harassment wherever they may be in the world, hence the swift and necessary action to bring them home. In a statement following their arrival, the Foreign Affairs Ministry spokesperson, Kemebi Ebenfa, quoted Oluyole as commending the excellent coordination of the process by the High Commission of Nigeria in Pretoria. The minister said that the federal government remains fully engaged with the South African authorities at the highest levels to ensure the protection of Nigerian nationals and address the root causes of the incident.
The federal government has declared Friday, June 12, 2026, a public holiday in commemoration of this year's Democracy Day celebration. The announcement was made by the Minister of Interior, Oluyole, in a statement issued today by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Interior, Magdalene Ajani. It said the annual observance of June 12 remains a significant milestone in Nigeria's democratic journey, paying tribute to the courage, resilience and sacrifices of Nigerians who fought for the entrenchment of democratic governance in the country. Tunji Ojo reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to upholding democratic principles, including the rule of law, transparency, accountability and inclusive governance. The minister also assured Nigerians that the Ministry of Interior, in collaboration with relevant security agencies, would continue to strengthen internal security measures to safeguard lives and property across the country. Calling on Nigerians to use the occasion for reflection, Tunji Ojo urged citizens to recommit themselves to national unity, civic responsibility and respect for the law.
The recent distribution of cash gifts by suspected bandits to residents in some parts of Nigeria has sparked widespread reactions across the country. While many Nigerians have condemned the development, others have surprisingly expressed admiration for the criminal groups, with some even inviting them to their communities. Staff reporter Bemisola Adebayo examines this development and the value system, which is really degrading. The details.
The recent gesture by suspected bandits who reportedly shared cash with residents in some parts of the country has generated intense debate among Nigerians. While many citizens have condemned development and described it as an attempt to win public sympathy, others have reacted differently, openly praising the criminal groups and in some cases expressing a desire to have them operate in their communities. The situation has raised concerns among security experts and stakeholders, especially as videos circulating on social media show bandits flaunting huge sums of money allegedly obtained through ransom payments. Some citizens have also openly indicated interest in joining criminal gangs, citing economic hardship and frustration with the system. A counseling psychologist at the University of Ibadan, Professor Rotimi Animashaun, attributes the trend to growing public dissatisfaction with governance and leadership failures. According to him, when people feel abandoned by those entrusted with governance, they may begin to celebrate individuals or groups who appear to provide what government has failed to offer, regardless of how such wealth is acquired.
The kind of culture we inherited, cultural orientation, is no longer there. In our cultural orientation, anything like criminal act, criminal behavior. In fact, the culture says you should not link yourself, and that is why they normally say that, show me your friends, and I will know the kind of a person you are. That means you should not associate with somebody who is criminally oriented. All these people that are adoring the bandits and associating with them, why are they doing that? They have a good examples in this society. They know how they make their money, and they know that a lot of them are so dubious. They do everything dubiously. And we are running very weak laws. And when you are caught for anything, you will be freed.
The psychologist further warns that normalizing or glorifying criminality poses a serious threat to national security and social values. He stressed that while citizens may be frustrated by economic realities, embracing banditry as an alternative is dangerous and could further undermine efforts to restore peace and stability, noting that governments at all levels must tackle poverty, unemployment, inequality, and the trust deficit between leaders and citizens.
A lot of them, ask them about Nigeria. They will say that I'm very unlucky to be here in Nigeria. And anything that happens to them, they are ready. They are ready. They want to get money from anywhere. And that is why they are saying all these, not that they will wait for this kind of bandits and so on. But they are saying all this to show their grievance to the country where there is no hope for them. What we can do is that if you are ready to change, and I am ready to change, every one of us, and this kind of change should even begin with leadership. If our leaders are ready to change, Nigeria will change. Then they will empower our laws. How many times have you seen the bandits being killed, being judged, and that is why they are capitalizing on that. That's why some of them could have the effrontery of saying that let them catch me. If they catch me, they will still release me. So that change is what we need, and let it start from the leadership.
As the nation continues its fight against insecurity, the growing sympathy for criminal elements serves as a reminder that sustainable peace can only be achieved when citizens have confidence in leadership and a genuine sense of hope for a better future. Biemsola Adebayo, BCOS News.
This broadcast of Newscope comes to you from the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, Ibadan. Hundreds of aggrieved pensioners under the aegis of the Concerned Pensioners Association of Benue State on Wednesday staged a peaceful protest in Makurdi, threatening to occupy the Benue State government house if their long-standing grievances over unpaid gratuities, pension arrears and pension harmonization are not addressed. The aggrieved pensioners, some who carried their sleeping mats and bore placards with inscriptions like "Pay us our pension, our members are dying," among others, said they had exhausted all avenues of dialogue with the state government without success, forcing them to take their agitation to the streets. Addressing journalists during the protest, chairman of the association, Akosu Oban, said pensioners are owed gratuities dating back to the year 2000, while state and local government retirees are owed pension arrears of 38 and 62 months, respectively. The association also decried the alleged failure of the government to harmonize pension rates in line with Section 210 of the 1999 Constitution, claiming that some retirees still receive as little as 2,000 naira monthly pension despite the approved minimum pension benchmark. Responding to the agitation of the pensioners, the Benue State Commissioner for Finance, Michael Ogleba, who said the administration inherited pension and gratuity liabilities estimated at 300 billion naira, maintained that the government was making effort to settle their obligations within available resources.
The Oyo State Local Government Service Commission has reaffirmed its commitment to delivering impactful service and leaving a lasting legacy through infrastructural development and human capacity building. The chairman of the commission, Basharu Akinwale, stated this while receiving the leadership of the Kano State Local Government Service Commission, who were in Oyo State on a study tour. Basharu Akinwale noted that these initiatives have enhanced efficiency in the public service and position Oyo State as a model for other states across the federation. Also speaking, the chairman of the Kano State Local Government Service Commission, Alhaji Ibrahim Jibril, said that the study tour is a strategic engagement designed to enhance institutional capacity, promote interstate collaboration that will provide them with valuable opportunity to exchange ideas and adopt best practices that will enhance service delivery in Kano State. The delegates were later conducted around the facilities of the Oyo State Local Government Service Commission as part of activities lined up for the study visit.
The foremost Ibadan socio-cultural group, Omo Ajurosun Club, has announced plans for its 46th celebration week with a series of activities lined up to commemorate the annual event. The disclosure was made by the president of the club, Mogaji Kamoruddin Salahuddin, during a courtesy visit to the management of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, BCOS, at Ile Akede Orita Basharun, Ibadan. Mogaji Salaudin, who led members of the 2026 Celebration Week Organizing Committee, explained that the visit was aimed at strengthening the long-standing relationship between the club and BCOS, while also seeking the corporation's support in publicizing the week-long program. Speaking on the activities lined up for the celebration, the chairman of the Omwa Jurusun Week 2026 Organizing Committee, Chief Badamoshi Oluyole, said the press conference scheduled for the June 19 will officially kickstart the event, followed by a special Jumat service on the same day. According to him, other activities include a health walk, church service, visits to the Olubado Palace and notable families, an outreach to an orphanage home, a football competition, scholarship presentations, merit awards, and a grand finale reception. Receiving the club's president and his entourage on behalf of the chairman of BCOS, Chief Mrs. Dr. Laiton, General Manager of the corporation, Mrs. Taiwo Adebowale, assured the visitors of BCOS continued support for initiatives that promote culture, community development, and societal progress.
Meanwhile, the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, BCOS, has organized a health talk for members of staff to promote healthy living and raise awareness about preventive health care practices. The program brought together health care professionals and staff members for interactive sessions on various health-related issues and measures for maintaining overall well-being. A healthcare professional, Mrs. Christiana Odekunle, delivered a presentation on general health and wellness, focusing on balanced nutrition, healthy eating habits, regular physical exercise, personal hygiene, stress management, mental health awareness, and the dangers associated with drug misuse and abuse. Mrs. Christiana Odekunle, who stressed the importance of routine medical checkups, however, advised members of staff to drink adequate water, get sufficient rest, as well as seek professional medical attention when necessary instead of engaging in self-medication. Participants described the initiative as timely and impactful, while stakeholders recommended regular organization of similar health awareness programs to foster a healthier workforce and society.
Strong winds accompanied by rains yesterday evening wreaked havoc in some parts of Ibadan, particularly in some areas around Iwo Road. At least 4-story buildings had their roofs completely blown off. Most of the residents, especially those residing in the topmost floors of the 4 buildings, were not around during the incident. According to our reporter Bimbo Akumbi, who saw the extent of damage after distress caused by residents of the area, about 4-story buildings had their roof blown off, damaging all the buildings, while power poles and lines were also not spared. Mrs. Anu Joseph, who lives in one of the buildings, expressed shock at the level of damage done by the strong wind, appealed to the state and local government to assist in reconstructing the affected buildings as their owners were not around.
Now to the foreign scene, at least 22 military personnel were killed when a Pakistani army helicopter crashed in the Pakistani-administered Kashmir, according to security sources. Report says mass ceremonial funerals have been held for the victims. Foreign desk editor Folashade Akintola compiled the story and others, as presented by Khadija Lawal.
The Russian-built Mi-17 transport helicopter went down near the regional capital of Muzaffarabad on Wednesday. The helicopter crashed during takeoff due to a technical fault, said the military's media wing, the Inter-Services Public Relations (ISPR). The crash killed all personnel on board, according to the military, which has not confirmed the number. Security sources told the press that the dead included 1 colonel, 2 other major rank officers, and 19 soldiers. They received a formal military burial on Thursday, with flag-draped coffins carried by an artillery unit stationed in Kashmir. The crash happened during a period of heightened security in the highly sensitive border region. The local government recently imposed strict movement restrictions following violent clashes between security forces and a newly banned alliance of civil society groups, which left at least 11 people dead over the weekend. Meanwhile, 3 Indian sailors have been confirmed killed after the U.S. military struck a tanker in the Gulf of Oman which is accused of violating its blockade on Iranian ports. The MT Set Bello came under attack on Wednesday with 24 Indian crew on board, of whom 21 were rescued. In a post on X, India's shipping minister, Sarbananda Sonowal, said the 3 men's bodies would be brought home soon. The US has struck 3 ships in the Gulf this week, all with Indian crew on board. On Thursday, Delhi said all 20 crew on the Jalvir were safe after a strike off Oman. 3 days earlier, the 24 Indian crew on sanctioned oil tanker, the Marivex, were rescued before it sank. CENTCOM confirmed it struck both ships. India's Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways Additional Secretary Mukesh Mangal said the 3 seamen on board the Set Bello who died were Aditya Sharma, a cadet, Shivanand Charashia, a fitter, and Patnala Suresh, a chief engineer. And lastly, Britain, Australia and Canada have launched a joint peace fund to advocate for a 2-state solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, with each country contributing €1 million, that is $1.34 million, to the initiative. The fund, which was announced today, will focus on new and existing grassroots projects, particularly those that include youth groups, civil society organizations and women, according to a news release from the United Kingdom Foreign Ministry. The move comes after 3 countries alongside France, New Zealand and Norway announced coordinated sanctions against networks financing and executing Israeli settler violence against Palestinians in the illegally occupied West Bank earlier this week. The